Growing up in New York City, it's nothing like it is now. It's hard. It's hard to be you sometimes, especially in the city you grew up in. Even though there was always violence, until I got to a certain age, I didn't see any of that. Just because I was surrounded by so much love and so much family. I didn't know the outside world existed. A lot of people, when they see me, whether it's for the first time, they like, it's kind of hard, but inside, it's just like, I'm not that, it's nothing but love. People ask me why I do what I do. I do what I do because somebody cared enough to do it for me when they didn't have to. If it wasn't for my mother going through hell, I don't think I would have ever had the life that I have now. I've seen her go through so much, with men, like getting just mistreated. My first real life experience that affected me was watching my mom get, dangled over some steps, and there was nothing under her. My stepdad grabbing her by her, her collar and hanging her over, and he just had this look like, I'm going to drop her. I had no idea what was going on. I was peeking through a door, and she just looked back at me like, go back in the room. He would come in drunk, high off coke. He came in, it was, you remember, was it the Mendez brothers? They had just killed their parents. I don't know what was going through this guy's mind, but he came in drunk. I guess my mom didn't do something he wanted. And he was just like, there's gonna be a murder tonight. It's gonna be a murder tonight. It's gonna be like the Mendez brothers. So I'm just like, I'm just not gonna take that lightly. So I waited till, I was like, he's either gonna get drunk, he's gonna pass, like something's gonna happen where he's going to sleep. Put my little sisters in my bed, put a hammer, a knife under my pillow, just in case he got up before I did. Now I knew my mom was gonna be in that bed, because you already know, the abuser, the abused likes to be with the abused for some, abuser for some reason. I waited a little bit, it was quiet. I went into his room, wasn't empty-handed, had a knife in my hand. Pushed his head to the side. He was throwing up. And it was just like, it was either him or my mom. It wasn't gonna be my mom. So I pushed his head to the side, and just as I was going to take his head off, my mom looked at me. But I'm glad she woke up, because my life would have been over. But my mom ended up going back. So it was just like, I remember a lot of sleepless nights. Just wondering if she's okay. And she was a good woman. Kept a clean house. She worked even though, my father didn't want her to. She took care of us. You didn't see her without seeing us. Like, we were her roadies. But I just got tired of it. I was like, I was not gonna see another person put their hands on her. Before I even was born, made it to 325 South Queen, my mother was found in an abandoned home. Her father died way before she even had a chance to know him. But her mother had, I want to say it was 6 kids. I don't know what was going through her mind, but I just know it wasn't right. She ended up one day, in her mind, she had to go. She left 3 kids behind and took the rest with her. When they found my mom, I'm not even sure how long she was there. I know it was weeks. The neighbors, my mother said the neighbors heard her, in the streets, they were crying. But by the time authorities got to my mom, they thought there was a baby doll in her hand and was her dead sister. Right, so if it wasn't for her going through what she went through, we would have never known what life was supposed to be like. I truly believe in protecting yourself, protecting your energy, just because I've seen so much. I've seen so much. And just coming up with my family, devils and angels, they look a lot alike. People will approach you with a smile and have nothing but ill intentions. There was a series of events that happened when I was younger that got me to change the way I thought, and it changed the way I did things. My mom would drop me off at my aunt's house on Boundary Avenue. She already had 10 kids of her own from the same man, 10 kids of her own. So they were more like my brothers and sisters. Got to a point to where, my aunt and uncle, they were out the house. So the older kids was there, raising us or, looking out for us. It was like maybe a span of a month or two. Everybody that hung out at 106 Boundary Avenue, I mean, all the kids from around the neighborhood, everybody started dying off. And it wasn't like, little things, but, getting shot in the head. So it was just like watching, everybody, just die around me. I could say if it was like one or two, but it was just like 4, 5, 6 people from out of our, our clique, our family. One day, I don't know what happened, but I was on my way over to Boundary Avenue, and little conversations, was getting me caught up. I was a kid, so it wasn't real heavy conversations, but it was just out of the norm, because usually I'm there. I get there, nobody's there, so, I ride my bike, I'm like, oh, they'll be back. And my friend Nancy, she's like, did you hear what happened? I was like, no. She was just like, they're dead. I was just like, who? She was like, Keon. Well, I was just like, what do you mean? I know if I'd have got there on time, I would have been in that car. The crazy thing about that accident was Moselle, my godbrother, he was running from getting his ass whooped. Like the first time I met him on the block when he was racing, but he was one of the first kids that came to the back door to eat. Crying like, I'm tired of, him putting his hands on me. I'm tired of him doing this, and she never gives up for me. You know what I mean? But his mom, looking at her, she was one of those classy ladies that always came well, dressed, hair always done, well spoken, but she treated him very wrong. So over the years, it escalated, and he took her car keys. Running from that situation, he said he couldn't do it no more. He's been saying it all week. As a kid, you don't think anything's gonna happen except him going back to that situation, hoping to think, it gets better. You end up, two of my cousins died, 2 lived. But I know I was supposed to be in that car. So just after that, it was just like, can't do those things. I can't hang in those types of circles. Just, it changed a lot. Coming up, education was always big in my family. So when it came to said family members, whoever dealing drugs, I seen them doing it wrong. Just because, a lot of us are functionally illiterate. Can't count unless when it, little thing. So I was just like, let me try my hand at that. I seen them on the corners doing that, and I don't want to do that. I seen the smart people have small clientele. I didn't need to do that. My father worked. We had more than enough, but it was just a thing to do. So I just showed them how to do it a little bit better than what they were, a little bit smarter. I don't have any felonies. I don't have any convictions whatsoever. I've been to jail. I've been a fugitive. I've done things. My brothers, well, I would say my god brothers and my god sisters, everything from drugs. They had prostitutes working for them. I used to have prostitutes coming to the school, dropping off sneakers for basketball, just because they told them to come, April needs sneakers or April needs lunch money. It was there. A lot of the problems that I see in the city happens because the adults don't understand that they're the same age as the kid. The trauma that they're going through now, we've been through that, and a lot worse. Crime has not changed. People are dying still the same way. But if the adults didn't find, the help that they needed, or found a person that they felt comfortable speaking to, they're the same age as these kids. These kids recognize that. So a lot of the disrespect or having no respect at all, no love for themselves, it's natural because it wasn't taught. So I want to see these adults heal at the same time. I want them to get the help that they need, just so these kids have somebody to look up to at home. So they're not always looking to the streets or looking to, a stranger for love that they can get at home. It's only a negative thing because youth at that age aren't taught to think. So it's like they're mindlessly running around and just reacting. They're going through their day-to-day like they went through the day before, so it's not like they have a goal in mind, like I want to accomplish this today. All they know is they want to eat. They don't want to be dirty. They don't want to be made fun of. They don't want to die. So they're going through life with those 4 objectives in life. I think that's all it's about. So me, I'm there just to show them, like, I'm from here. I didn't live on the 600 block, but I lived on the 600 block by choice. I made it through. I'm still here. There's more to life. There's so much more to life than the 600 block. There's so much more to life than having to fight, for food, fight for something that does not belong to us. When I left at 16 for the military, people put me on this platform. Like, she graduated, played basketball, she could have went off to college, but she went off, to pursue a career. But I came right back, to do the same thing. So a lot of people see me higher than what I ever seen myself. So when they see me doing things, normal things to me in the street, they're like, wow, thank you. Because most people get to a certain age or a certain status in their mind and they think, this work down here is not for me. I'm just like, well, it has to be for somebody. Why not be a good person, and come down and do it. So, but they're used to seeing me. Like, they actually expect to see me. I want to see more love, more positive vibes in our city, just because our stories are told by people from the outside looking in. I would like to see the youth of our city write their own narratives. Tell the world how the city really is. Tell them how their world is. So maybe that, they can be the ones to actually change what's going on. Because those kids, they're not in your house, they're on the corners. The drug dealers, they ain't changed their MO, they're still on the corners. It's just me providing that safe haven allows them to come in to be normal, find a little bit of normalcy. But what I love about them, they're still gentlemen. A lot of them are still gentlemen. My aunts, they know there's noonday prayer at least 3 times a week. Without me saying anything, a lot of them are like, well, I'm hold my order, I'm about to go take them across the street, Cool. I didn't have to ask after a while. The young boys, they're coming up the block, they know, pull your pants up. After so many times of me telling you, I don't want to see your butt. I got you, Miss April, I got you, Miss April. I didn't even like my name. I couldn't stand that name. I never felt like that name was for me. But just hearing it so much from these young boys, it's just having that miss attached to it changed everything for me. Just because, a lot of people don't think they have manners. If you're not taught to have manners, you won't. You sound like a herb, a scrub, Poindexter, whatever they want to call it. But to me, they knew it was mandatory. I demand it. And it wasn't from the military. I was taught that before I even hit the military, but just giving them those soft skills means everything. Just because I know they're not getting it in the schools, I know they're not getting it at home, but you can get that on the block. So whether they're smoking weed, smoking cigarettes, they see us coming, yo, put it out. And if they don't have a shirt on, it's funny. I'm like, oh, why you outside with your chest out? I don't try to change them. I just drop little subtle hints, like, them boxes are not supposed to be hanging out your pants. If you had a belt on, your pants wouldn't hang down that far. I got stuff in the restaurant, soap, all that. They can't be that around me. I don't know. I love the block. I love it. I don't know. They know with me, with us, nobody's gonna hurt you. Like, that's just not gonna happen. We still have that protective instinct that their parents used to have. So like a lot of the demeanor that I have is from them bros that was on the block. Like, nah, you're not gonna mess with her. April, go get that ball, beat it. Got you. We're about to do some things. Go ahead. Don't you got something to do? So that's the same language I use with these kids. Don't you got something to do? Grown people about to do some things, so they know what that means. Ever since I was a little kid, I was always taught this is how we act. Our only job in life is to love and be there for somebody. So, if it was that simple, I know my job is simple here on earth. What you give, you get back what you give. I can't help it. It's just in me to give. It's just in me to do. Whatever I'm supposed to do here in life, I made it through a lot. My mother made it through a lot. So whatever I'm meant to do here, I know it has to be great. It has to be great.